Hey everyone, Jason Sherman here. In today's episode of Zero to CEO, I speak with award-winning entrepreneur, marketer, and coach Diane Strand. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jason. I'm excited for our conversation.
Great. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about breaking into the industry as an actor. Great subject, especially after the writer's strike that I just saw happen because of AI infiltrating Hollywood, right? So now it's even more so important to, retain your acting ability and your IP, I guess, right? So, and before we talk about the topic, I'm actually curious on your thoughts on what happened with the writer's strike, and if you kind of have any insights into what happened to actors and how they can protect themselves.
Well, sure. Well, the writer's strike was a lot about AI. For the actors, it was so you couldn't take the image of somebody, use it once, scan the body, and then put them in all different kinds of scenarios, whether that be as extras or recreating them into other scenes that you definitely need to use the actor and pay the actor. And that's
Sure.
what the actors strike was about. The writers strike was much more focused on um, making sure that the original content is coming from an actual writer,
Hmm.
and not just the studios recreating something through AI, which thankfully the writers and the actors succeeded in that and they got their contracts. I am a true believer in AI. I think, it helps us work smarter, not harder,
Yeah.
but it definitely has to be worked by a human, not necessarily just worked by other humans who want to eliminate other humans.
That's a good point. And removing the human element from acting, writing is basically removing the creative element from the writing process or the acting process, because an AI doesn't know how to be creative. It just knows what its program is and what the human is telling it to do. So let's talk a little bit about the creative process, because that's a big part of being an actor or a writer. Is you do have to have a bit of creativity. And what would you say to somebody who maybe says, well, I don't really have any creative passions, but I'd like to be an actor or I'd like to be a writer? How can they tap into that creativity?
Well, I'm gonna call foul on that because I believe everybody has creativity. I am a firm believer that creativity is what makes everything happen. And whether you're a creative who's looking to launch or you're a business that needs more creativity. So for those, if you have a passion in the arts, your creativity is all over the place. You might need to find out how to find the direction for it, put
Mm-hmm.
it into a pathway, be able to harness it to turn it into from passion to purpose to profits, which I'm a true believer, and that's what I can help you realize is how to take that creativity and make it work for you,
I mean,
instead of
that's the thing, right? Like most creative people don't want to put on that business hat, right? They just want to create stuff and then they don't know how to sell it. So how do you take a person who is literally just creating content or writing scripts or making acting reels, and how do they turn that into a business or a profitable venture? What's the method?
Well, the method is different for everybody who is coming into this space. But you need to learn how to be seen. You need to learn how to build yourself as a brand. Before we used to always think as our business as a brand or the product that we have as a brand,
Mm.
but we ourselves are the brand. If, with my business, I am the brand that makes my business thrive because, I'm a smaller company. And if it wasn't for what I bring to it, then our company wouldn't be so successful. So I had to be seen in that business, doing that, creating that authority, getting those markers that show me as an expert. I've been saying that for my 21 years as an entrepreneur is position yourself as an expert. And that is through your experience, the things that you know and what you're doing, and build that brand around it. So whether you are a creative who's looking to launch and you might need a little bit more business, start being seen as the brand that you are and putting yourself out there. Or
Yeah,
if you're a
and you're
business,
mentioning the brand a lot, and I remember going through a lot of phases in my life through different businesses where I was always advertising the business until one day I started to advertise myself. But branding and marketing go hand in hand. So while somebody might be able to brand themselves and put themselves out there as an asset class, or they might offer services because they have skills and expertise, there's still that marketing piece, right? And marketing is expensive and difficult, and there's a lot of different ways of doing it, and not everybody's good at it. They usually hire agencies and they find out that it's thousands of dollars. So what would you say to someone who doesn't have a big budget, but they do have a brand, they have skills, they have services, and they need to market that? How would they do it effectively and on the cheap?
well, social media is the first thing that you have to go to. Social media is free, as far as that goes. And there's a huge difference between marketing. You have public relations and you have advertising under marketing. PR is earned
Hmm.
marketing, and advertising is paid marketing.
Awesome. Now I need a quick minute for a little boost. Everyone knows how much I love exploring new ways to boost productivity and keep my energy levels up. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Magic Mind, the world's first mental performance shot. I gotta tell you, it's been a game changer for me. As a creator, I've tried countless products, but Magic Mind stands out. It's not just about the boost of energy, it's about the clarity and focus that lasts throughout my day. Whether I'm working on the podcast or diving into creative projects, it keeps me in the zone. And look, I love coffee and green tea, but I crash with coffee, and tea doesn't give me the boost that I need. But Magic Mind does give me that extra bit of energy and focus. And it just tastes so good. And here's the best part. You can try Magic Mind for free. That's right, you heard me. For a limited time, they're offering a free trial pack. All you have to do is cover the shipping costs. Use my link and code in the description to get started. It's a one-time offer, so don't miss out. And if you love it as much as I do, consider subscribing. It's super convenient, and you can cancel anytime you want, but I doubt you'll want to. Plus, subscribers get up to 48% off. So think of it as like a little hack to elevate your everyday performance. So if you're looking for something to help you stay sharp and focused, give Magic Mind a try. Trust me, it's worth it. Stay creative, stay focused, and now let's get back to our guest.
So you need to start getting yourself out there as a brand for some of that earned marketing. That's how you create that authority. That's how you start to get those tags. You have to put yourself out there in magazines, podcasts, writing articles, getting yourself in places to be interviewed that people are starting to see you as the expert. That is all ways to get earned PR so you don't have to pay for it. And then get yourself out there on social media. That is, a tool that we all have. Now, sure, you can boost posts, you can run ads, you can do that, but you have to start creating that authority. Just get out there, start, it's the hardest thing, step
Yeah,
outside that
getting the
comfort zone.
followers and getting
And
people to believe in what you're
but
selling.
you have to
Or
start with some lives. You
it
have to
take and
put yourself out
we have
there.
to tell some hard truths here too. We should really tell people that it's not easy, right? Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to go viral." That's what everyone always says. But just because you put out a video and you get 200 views, you got to keep going. I think consistency is key, right? Like you have to just keep doing it, and especially for a woman or a person, a minority. We're seeing that they don't have all the opportunities that others do. So talk a little bit about what it's like to lead a company as a woman, and how you're able to help other women too.
Well, I believe the way I help other women is by just, being myself and putting myself out there, not being afraid to speak my voice and let it be heard, getting in those right rooms. You have to get in, into your community and start building that credibility within your community. That really helps, get involved in your chamber of commerce, join some committees, get involved with your city. Those are the biggest ways to, navigate that fish pond, so to speak, so you can start becoming a bigger fish in that pond is by connecting with them. And lead with passion. If you have passion that turns into purpose and know that you're here to serve others, no matter what your business is, you have to create your business to serve others. And when you start looking at it that way, of course, we all need a paycheck. We all have to go to the grocery store and put, gas in our car. But if that isn't what we're leading with, and we're leading with service, people are going to start to see that, and they're going to start to surround themselves to you because you're doing a service. That is also your job, is to put yourself out there, because if people aren't buying your product or your service, they're getting it from somewhere
Somebody
else,
else, yeah,
or
your
people
competitors.
who don't have that same intention that you might.
And you bring up a point that I wanted to just ask you now. So you're bringing it up is competition, right? So if you're trying to get your brand out there and you're trying to get your name out there, you have to make content that is not only relevant, especially videos. Videos are king in the world of social media, but you have to stand out from the oversaturated markets. How do you stand out in your marketing videos to your audiences?
Authenticity is the best way to stand out. You have to be able to put yourself out there and share a little vulnerability. Goes a long way. Talk about, storytelling. Be a storyteller for how you got to where you are, why it is you're doing what you're doing, who it is you've impacted, and why you see this as a value for others. That's the sharing. You have to be a storyteller and talk about your journey and how you got to where you are and where it is that you're going, because others need to be able to see that it's not always so easy. And you may have tripped and fell along the way, but you got back up and dusted yourself off and you kept going. And that's what inspires others. That's what brings other people to you, because they can relate with you. They see the authenticity, and then they want to do business with you. Competition, there's always competition, but there is plenty of business to go around.
Yeah.
So you can't get hung up in what other people are doing. Just know that if you're doing it with service, with passion and purpose, and you're putting yourself out there and sharing that, people will gravitate towards you.
Yeah, and there's so many examples that I can point out of people putting up videos on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube and just going at it, just keep going, and they're amassing a following, and all of a sudden now they're in movies and TV shows because they got deals with networks because they are shown to be popular. People like them, right? So I think part of being an actor or breaking into the industry is also, like you said, being authentic, but telling a story that people can resonate with to the point that you can grow exponentially. So tell me a story about how your work has impacted marginalized groups.
Well, my creativity really started way back when I was in second grade, is I really wanted to play Betsy Ross in the school play, and everyone told me that I shouldn't even try. I was
Aw,
I was a struggling reader and I couldn't read. I hadn't been diagnosed yet, but I am dyslexic. But somehow I taught myself how to read, or at least audition, and I got the part of Betsy Ross in that school play, and that changed everything for me. It started to build that confidence. It started to tell me that, when I put my mind to something, I get things done. And that's how you build your trust in yourself and put those coins in that confidence bank, is you have to take those little tiny wins and lead them up to the big wins to be able to do that. And I truly believe that the arts touch every industry and they impact life and business. And whether, it was what taught me, how to read or how to get through school or stay connected to school, so I didn't ditch too much, or do that, was because I wanted to be in the play, so I had to keep a level of grades and do that, and it kept me connected. And the best thing that the arts teach is grit and determination,
mm,
and that's what you need to build a business or to be in this industry, is a little grit and determination.
I
And
like
not
that.
everything comes out perfect. You
Of course
know,
not. And you gotta work hard. People need to know that. And about the arts, I want to hear a little bit about your upcoming book, Creativ-Preneur, before we head out here. So tell me a little bit about that and where people can find you after that.
Great. Well, The Creativ-Preneur is actually my fourth book that I've written. And it should be coming out first quarter of 2025. We're working on the cover right now, so we're super excited about that. And The Creativ-Preneur is all how you can find your passion, your purpose, and take it to profit, no matter what kind of creative you are. And if you need more creativity, this is going to give you some of those creative tips to be able to market, communicate, leverage, and scale.
Perfect.
And that's what the book is really about.
And if
And
people
to
want to learn
find
more
me,
about your production company, where would they find that and be able to talk to you?
well, go to jdsstudio.live and you can feed to all my hashtag JDS family entities, whether that's video production, the Actors Studio, or the nonprofit Creative Academy. And we are helping people create creative academies and move the arts across America. So look us up on artsacrossamerica.org as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Diane. Hope you guys learned something about the arts, and we'll see you at jdsstudio.live. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode.